Welcome to the Lifebox Media Channel. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're with Mr. Leon Everett. How are you today?
I'm fine, Troy. How about you, baby?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time. Tell you, we've had a blast here, Terrence, doing some interviews with you and Sammy Sadler and everything else. So talk to me a little bit about the idea of you kind of like, you're not making a comeback, but you're kind of re-arriving.
Yeah, well, Sammy and I got together, Sammy Sadler, and we got together and we just started talking about doing a tour, you know, and 80s and 90s music and telling the history of really what goes on in Nashville. So
yes, sir.
Behind the scenes of the music business. So we just we became good friends, and so we were getting a thing booked up for 2024 tour, and I'm just excited about it, you know, because I've been out of the music business. I left RCA Records in 1985.
Gosh.
And I did not come back to Nashville for 34 years.
That's a long time, brother. You know,
I kind of had it out with RCA a little bit.
We had a strongly disliked relationship in there.
Yes. And it kind of ended my career, so to speak, in 1985. After, you know, from 80 to 85, I had 11 straight top 10 records, 3 number 1 records, 9 gold albums, and you know, nominated for New Male Vocalist of the Year in 1981. Had the biggest selling record of 1983. And of course, I was one of the first country artists to do Wembley Stadium.
That's incredible.
In London. And by the way, in 1983, another thing happened to me. Coca-Cola, they came out with a soft drink called Mellow Yellow. And nobody ever heard of it, you know.
Right.
So I was trying to get a country act to you know, be the spokesman for it.
Yes, sir.
Write the themes for it and do the TV, the radio ads, and the billboard things. And so I said, well, yeah, no, I'll try it. So I did the deal with Coca-Cola in 1983, signed a 3-year deal. I wrote all of the themes for it. Back when it first started, it was called Mellow Yellow Rocks Your Thirst Away. I don't know if you remember.
Right, I do.
Mellow Yellow rocks your thirst away. And so I come up with a theme. They liked it so much, they gave me a 3-year contract. And I made a lot of money. A lot of money.
Man, that is really cool. I had no idea. I mean, I did to do jingles back then before it was popular.
Yeah, I was doing all the TV, radio, all this stuff back then, and I kicked it off. And but they gave me an option back then. They said, you know, we can give you a 3-year straight deal for a certain amount of dollars.
Sure.
We don't mention dollars. IRS might be listed. Just joking, IRS.
Just joking.
Just
We love you. Yeah.
But they gave me a deal for 3 years, or I could take a deal and residuals, which would be a lot less than I got for 3 years. Well, I'm young and I'm thinking about this. You know, this is a whole lot of money here, and this is a lot of money. But residuals, nah, this drink probably won't never catch on. Now every time I see somebody drinking Mellow Yellow, I say, I wonder how they're liking my money.
They're drinking your money away, brother.
But
well, you're young,
you
you know.
Residuals for life, man. You know.
Man, that was I tell you, but that's really. But you know, you're young though. I mean, you're young, and you think that, hey, man, look, you know, I got 1 million more of these to come. And,
first of all, when they started spitting all this stuff out, you know, about the residuals and all, I'm over there looking at my man and I said, what's he talking about, residual? I don't even know what a residual was.
Right, but well, nobody got a piece of the pie back then.
No, I didn't
that was
know what
really
that was
one of the
called.
first. It's funny you brought. Thank you for bringing that up, because back then even TV shows and everything else were just starting to break into residuals. So that's a great lesson. You look at it. Okay, look, and I'm making up the numbers here. Okay, well, look, we'll give you $100,000. Okay, we'll give you $100,000, or we'll give you $50,000 and, you know, a couple cents on the dollar every time you sell one of those, or it's played or whatever. Yeah, man, you know, 40, I'm not going to do the math, a couple years ago, that's a little bit of money over the years, you know, I mean, and still kicking. So, but, you know, you kind of live and you learn, you know. And
that was in 1983. Mellow Yellow's huge.
I'm never going to look at Mellow Yellow the same way again, you know. I mean, I don't even drink it. I'm going to go buy one and say, brother, you know, I'm going to text you tomorrow. Look what I got. He's like, I'm never going to be on a Lifebox again. You know, I mean,
but you know, I came out.
That's really cool, man.
They gave me a lot of money, and you know, but it's just, you know, it's new, and I didn't know. I didn't even, like I said, I didn't know what it meant.
So I have to ask you, did they send you some free cases?
Huh?
Did they send you some free cases?
Man, what you talking about? They gave we did it. We had these here little. They gave us an ID type of a thing. And when me and the bus, I had 2 tour buses. I had 13 people on the road with me.
Nice.
And but we had this little card thing. Any place, any store, supermarket, whatever, we could go in and we could get cases of Mellow Yellow for the buses. Never
Oh,
cost
that
a
is
dime.
cool.
Yeah. So the band even learned to like Mellow Yellow.
Hey, you get thirsty on the road, brother. If it's not coming out of your pocket, it's even better. You know, I mean,
But-
that is cool,
They
man.
could have let me keep my card after 3 years. After 3 years, my card wasn't no good no more.
Oh no, didn't know residuals, brother.
No
you know?
residual, man. I blew it
So
on
before
that
Mellow Yellow, what did you drink?
one. Before Mellow Yellow?
Yeah, were you a Coca-Cola guy or?
No, I was a vodka man. Like I said, I mean, literally, I was an alcoholic.
Yes,
You
sir.
really want to get down to it. When I had my first #1 record, of course I'd been drinking, you know, playing at the bars and things. I was always drinking. And in 1980, when I had my first #1 record, Hurricane, the song
Yes,
Hurricane,
sir.
it was my first #1 record in 1980. Well, man, you know, talking about how price changes around, man, all of a sudden from clubs here, now you're getting on big fairs, and now you're touring with Ronnie Millsap, and Conway Twitty, and Haggard, and Emmylou Harris. You start touring with all these people, you know,
Right.
and then of course I had 3 #1, and then you get right on up the ladder. And you're speaking of Garth Brooks a while ago, for instance. Back when Garth was in college in Norman, Oklahoma, and I used to let Garth come out and do some songs before we'd open up. Where was I?
Oh wow.
And, but I was ahead of my time. Then
Yes,
when Garth
sir.
came out 10 years after I quit RCA. I'm gonna say it that way. That sounds better, don't it?
Works for me. That's your opinion. That's
when
your
I
story.
quit RCA in '85.
You know, Colin Ray says that's my story, and I'm
Yeah,
sticking
you
to
gotta
it.
stick
You know?
to it, man.
I mean, you know.
And 10 years later, when Garth came out, man, he was running all over the place and all this stuff, climbing speakers and all this stuff, a strapless guitar. Like
Right.
I said, man, that boy there, he used to watch me, didn't he? But I was ahead of my time. I was called the Ted Nugent of country music. Over at RCA Records, they called me a maverick. And in 1983, the last time I played the Grand Ole Opry, I got banned from the Opry because I knocked them off of the air for 3 minutes. I stepped on. You're supposed to stand in this circle, you know. I
Yes, sir.
understand that. That's the circle.
Right.
I could not do that. That's like putting handcuffs on me. Now, I was always wild. So I'm running all over the stage up there, and I kind of jumped over a monitor, and I didn't know the patch bay was down there. I got my foot, you know. I tried to fly. I tried to do everything. Nothing worked. My foot came down, and I clipped about 3 of the cables, knocked them off of there for a few seconds. I mean, a few minutes, rather. And
It just went from bad to
the
worse.
last time I played the Grand Ole Opry was in 1983. I lived over there in Hank Snow. He had his fist like this. He was like looking at me like that, you know. And but you know, those are good memories.
Hey, how many people can sit there and say they knocked the Grand Ole Opry off the air for not a few seconds, but a few minutes? Whoa, man, brother. I mean, you know, but you know that's.
But they have lifted the band on me now.
You know, now let me ask you a question. I mean, and during those times, you know, and obviously, you know, you had some dark times, you know, and
Oh, yeah, sure.
and God bless you, turn out that you come out, you know, on the brighter end of things,
Sure did.
which is a huge hope to people to sit there and say that you can be from bottom of the barrel, pardon to speak, to you know, in the brightest light, you know,
Exactly.
and you know, but. What would you sit there and say to somebody who says, "Hey, brother, look, man, I've been in those dark days"? Because you know, people look at you and say, "Okay, look, basically, you're essentially a rock star, and you know, and you're you know in front of all the people, and people love you and all that stuff, and that's debatable, and that conversation we'll get in a minute. But I mean, you know, can be today, tomorrow, gone, you know, the next day, etc. But what do you say to people sit there and say, "Man, you know, you on TV per se looked like $1 million, but you weren't as happy as you portrayed"?
No, it was not. In 1985, my net worth was $18 million. And
Without the residuals.
yeah, without the residuals. But yeah, my net worth was $18 million in 1985. And of course, you know, I lost my RCA deal. We already went through that. But, you know, and I was really down. And I got kind of blackballed all over Nashville. Nobody would touch me anymore. So I went back to Ward, South Carolina, and I stayed drunk. And I was really down. I mean, just down and out, you know, and like it was all over. But, you know, I'm going to say this here because I'm proud. And I'm a Christian.
Fire away, brother.
And I'm Christian, and I'm proud of it. But 27 years ago, I got tricked into going to a little church. You wasn't gonna get me in no church, period. I ain't going to no church. But I got tricked into going to church, more or less. And it's kind of pay a favor back to a good friend of mine, which was a Christian. And he said, I don't want no money. He did a job for me. I don't want no money, nothing. Just, come to church with me. I said, okay, well, I'll go to church. But I ain't gonna stay but a few minutes and I'm out of here.
You're making your commitment, and keeping your promise, and I'm out the door, and you hope it doesn't fall down around you the same process.
Thank you for doing that work for me. And I paid you back. I gave you what you wanted.
Right.
And but see, God knew what He was doing. That's how He got me in church, and that was 27 years ago. I changed my life around. I don't care how low, how in the gutter you are, or whatever. And I was stone broke. I went through a divorce and all that stuff.
That can help with that.
Yeah, and whether you're a multimillionaire or whatever, I lost everything. I mean, I didn't care. I lost everything.
Well, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you're not making the best decisions at those times either.
I was staying drunk 24/7.
Yes, sir.
And I was out of music, and I didn't know what to do with myself. So yeah, I lost it all, and God had to bring me down to my knees, so to speak. Well, you might have had money to buy this here now. Boy, you got to crawl a little bit now.
Yeah, how you doing now, right?
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
And I was so far down in the gutter. I mean, and I was divorced, of course, and so down in the gutter. But see, God knew what He was doing. He knew He had to get me in the church, and I went to church. And that was 27 years ago. Of course, I got remarried to my little monkey. Diane. I met her, and I met her in my bar that I built. Get this out of all places now. Here I am, a drunk, and I go build a big bar.
And you can give great advice.
Yeah. And so she came in there into my little bar and said, "Woo, who's that little girl there?" And I fell in love with her without even knowing her name. Just she came in.
Yeah, I heard there was chasing. I'm not sure which way it went, but I kind of have an idea. But
no. I kind of liked her a little bit. Then we got this kind of thing, and then she kind of liked me. So I'm 20 years older than her, and so she really started liking me. She started chasing me then, trying to knock me down. And I'm an old man there, and I just couldn't run as fast as she could, so I just gave in to her.
Just let you know we're interviewing her afterwards. I'll get her story.
I'm in trouble now.
Because she is in the room. And we appreciate her patience.
But then we wound up and we got married, and she's been my rock. She's been my rock. I don't go nowhere. I go nowhere without her going with me. Her name's Diane. I call her my little monkey. But I go nowhere without my little monkey. But we got married, and then that 27 years ago, it changed my whole life around. We came home, and I've never drank another drop of alcohol. I mean, I cleaned up my act. God cleaned me up, and we had to start all over again. And so we have built little companies here and there. We built our way up, and then I said I'd never play music again, of course. And then they taught me into coming up here, and I did a Country for Cause for the Vanderbilt children up here during CMA week. And I met some people, and they got me in touch with Sammy Sadler. And then me and Sammy, we talked, and we kind of hit it. I mean, we started off, hey, let's try this thing out. Then we met, and then we became friends. And I feel like now him and Melody and me and Diane, we're not like partners going out on a 2024 tour. We are like, hey, we're family now. We're family. And me and my buddy, Sammy, Spike Sadler, me and Spike Sadler, we're going out on the 2024 tour. But how God puts things together, and say he's a Christian man, and I'm a Christian, but yet our careers have had these tragic things that's happened to us.
Yes, sir.
And God, He puts things together. And I think He's just put this thing together, and everything that we've been doing has been, just like we always say, connecting the dots.
Yes,
it's
sir.
like God's put this. He put a Christian man music. We're putting a band together, Christian man band. I mean, it's just everything is coming together, like He wants it. We're not pushing. He is, and so that's what I love about it. That I'm actually teamed up. It's my partner, my brother, my friend, Spike Sadler, and that he's my friend, and we're putting this thing together because we both are not ashamed of our Lord Jesus Christ. And,
Amen.
and I got to say this, and I am a proud American. I'm a 2-time Vietnam veteran.
Thank you, sir. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
1968, 1969. I did 2 tours of Vietnam. I'm a very, very, very proud veteran. And I am proud of my country. And I do a thing every morning. I do the Pledge of Allegiance and the Lord's Prayer every morning. Been doing it for about 1.5 years now. And I call it, God and country time, always. And
That's cool. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this on the air. I think you should do that with the crowd sometimes.
with the crowd.
I think that do it with the crowd. Make it your close. Or your
do
opening.
that too.
Or your opening. Just an idea. Just throwing it out
that's
there.
That's a good idea. We can do that.
But,
anybody want to join me? Let's join.
I think that's awesome. Or a show of it, one or the other.
Yeah.
But anyway, and that's fascinating, and thank you, and appreciate your service as well. Thank you so much. Had tons of friends of mine and family that were in Vietnam and everything else. So thank you so much for that. You guys were never treated the way you need to be treated coming home. So I mean, that's
I'm
a whole
glad
other.
They are changing that around now.
Remind me when we're done.
Appreciate it then. When I came back from Vietnam. I told this before. I wouldn't even wear my uniform. We used to get special rates with airlines if you wore
Yes, sir.
your uniform. But I got to wear, in Vietnam, we were called baby killers and this and that. And we were called all kind of stuff. People would throw stuff at you and try to even spit at you.
Yes, sir.
And I got to where when I would come home, I would not even wear my uniform when I was traveling to keep from getting in confrontations. Because, I could take the name call and I could take this, just block it out. And when somebody spit on me,
Yeah, it was an issue down
I've
there.
gotten in trouble a few times. And so the best thing to me, just not even wear
And now, like you said, now that's a different deal. When we get done, I'll show you something a comment on that, and you're going to absolutely love this. So I mean, I think everyone. But and again, I appreciate your service. Thank you on that part of it. Is my opinion, we shouldn't have been there to begin with, but that's a whole other story for a whole other time.
But it wasn't our fault.
No, sir. Absolutely. And you guys are doing the work. We appreciate that. Now, as far as music's done today, what are you looking at differently that you, as far as the fact of creating music, than you did back in the 80s?
On my part of it?
Yes, sir.
Well, like I said, I do a lot of country gospel
yes,
now,
sir.
of course. But I think as far as the music, when I'm creating in the studio now, it's more heavier on the drums and this type of a thing than it was back then. And but basically, myself, I'm still recording like I used to. Other than, like I say, you get a little heavier on the drums and a little bit heavier on the rhythm type section, But basically, my music has really not changed. In fact, Hurricane, it was my first #1 record. We said that.
Yes, sir.
I am going back in and I am going to recut it to a little bit different, today's style, because it's such a great record. I mean, you had Band of Heathens, they cut it about 10 years ago, and they had a rock hit on it. Now you got, even heard the other day, the Jelly Roll is doing it.
Wow.
That's
pretty cool.
It's true, because we pulled it up. Google it, you can pull it up. Jelly Roll doing Hurricane.
Oh man, that's cool. I'm gonna do that when I get home. I'm gonna do that.
So I'm saying, man, you talk about an honor. I mean, so they had to know my music from way back then.
Right.
And here, rock group done had it out, and now Jelly Roll. I said, so many people doing it, they still ain't none of them got it the way I want to do it. And so I'm gonna recut it. But basically, it's I'm still the old country boy. On this tour with Spike Sadler, Sammy Sadler, he gonna kill me when he sees this boy. Who you calling Spike? But I tell
he's coming up next.
I say, don't show it, Sammy. But I tell Sammy, I said, man, this tour is going to be awesome because he's a crooner, He's that pretty stuff. Ooh, that Frank Sinatra, you get down there, makes your goosebumps just kind of run and that kind of stuff. I can't do that because I'm a redneck. I tell him, I said, I'm the redneck dude of this thing, I just open my mouth and holler whatever comes out, and he gets the goosebumps going on you. So we make a good team here,
I like that. So now I'm going to play a little fun with you here. Throw a couple things at you. Neither one of you to do. He's going to kind of like hear it in the background. So it's okay. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Fire away at your first answer. Okay. A week, a night out, Dinner and dancing or a movie?
Uh,
You know, if you're going out with your lady, dinner and
Oh.
dancing or a movie?
Eating. Whatever
This is
goes.
gonna be better
If
than I
it's a movie
thought.
you eat, that's right. If it's dancing and getting eaten, I'm going wherever's eating at.
I love this. I knew I was going to have a good time with this. Steak or lobster?
Oh, steak, definitely. Well, no, wait a minute. I like steak and lobster.
He's going to be greedy on me.
No, I just get a combination. Steak.
You get surf and turf and he gone today. Okay, Coke or Pepsi?
Uh,
You tell me Mellow Yellow, we're out.
Pepsi.
I used to like him until now. No, I'm just funning you. Okay, movie, horror or comedy?
Comedy.
Favorite comedy?
Oh, I like Medea stuff.
Medea. Very cool,
Yeah.
very cool. You don't do horror?
A little bit, but not too much.
All right.
I like something to make me laugh.
Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
I like that. Okay, the beach or the mountains?
Mountains, definitely.
I wouldn't have put money on that one, right? You know, favorite person to listen to when you want to relax?
Ooh.
And you can't say your wife.
It doesn't have to be music, right?
No, yeah, that's what. No. I was helping you out there.
Oh, man, I don't know. That'd be tough.
I mean, give me a couple. I mean, you know, you kick back. If we were going to sit down and we're looking at your music collection or looking at your phone, if it's on your phone, who would you like play? Hey, man, I just want to chill out and I want to relax on a Saturday afternoon. What would you be listening to?
Well, that kind of stuff, Buffett, I guess. You know, that
Very
kinda,
cool, very
I
cool.
like the Caribbean type thing.
We're gonna miss
When I'm
Jimmy.
relaxing now.
We're gonna miss Jimmy. That's a
Yes.
big loss. Jimmy Buffett. Respect and prayers there. So, okay, if you want to rock out, what do you want to listen to?
Rock out. Woo. Well, see, I'm old fashioned now. I like Creedence Clearwater.
You can't better than Fogerty right there, man. I'm telling you.
That's what I like.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's,
I
that's
dig
new.
it.
That's what makes me move.
Another one of the most underrated bands
Yes.
that doesn't get credit is CCR.
And outsold everybody.
Oh yeah. There's
And
there,
people don't believe. No, they could. Look it up.
Okay,
Who is the biggest band seller? Is CCR.
well, the biggest band sellers. Well, we'll have that
Yeah,
conversation
yeah,
after
well,
the
you
hour.
know.
But they are one of the biggest bands
Yes.
of all time, and people just don't realize because they were together for a couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one of those deals, and it's still awesome today. Okay, so you can pick a great place to go on a vacation with your loved ones. Where's it going to be?
Modoc Campground. Modoc go, what?
Sweet baby Jesus.
Hey, take the RV.
I told you I'm having the missus on afterwards.
Don't let her see this either.
Well, hell, the show's done. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going home. It's a wrap. You know, I mean, so
I'm real romantic. There,
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Now watch. I'm gonna get them just for fun. Best present you ever got from your wife?
Best present?
Yes.
Oh God.
Besides her.
Wait, they're all good. I mean, she
He's a politician.
I
Jeez.
mean, you can't just pick one because
Pick one that was
she
like-
is the most. She knows me like a book. She knows more about me than I know myself, and she just always I don't know.
She knows how to pick them.
Yes, she does.
Look at that. I helped you out
She
there.
sure does.
I came in for the tag.
And, well, I tell you, for my 75th birthday party.
That's coming up, right? In a couple of years?
No, I done turned 75. I'm 75. I was 75.
Seriously?
Yeah, I was 75 March 27th. You didn't know that?
Damn. No, I didn't. I need to go get a Mellow Yellow right now. Oh, congratulations, there, brother. You look great. I thought
I turned 75 March 27th.
So go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt that. Go ahead.
But she pulled off a birthday party that was just totally unreal. Had like over 250 people. She put it on there at Fellowship Hall at our church. And how many people came from Florida, New Jersey, all of Georgia, Alabama. I mean, they was coming from all over the place. And how she put all that together. And I didn't know nothing about it, period. And she talked me into, and she'd been putting this thing together so long. She said, we need to go down, because we was at home, we wasn't on the road or anything, we was at home. She said, we need to go down to church and let's do some cleaning and all, because we're going to have a little dinner thing there at the church, blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff.
This is a Sunday monthly deal type thing, you know?
Yeah, and so we need to be down there, so-and-so, because we're going to meet the pastor and his wife down there, and we're just going to do a little cleaning and straightening.
A little intimate deal.
Yeah, I walked in, she had over 250 people from all over the country. Had got a guy from New Jersey. He left to go, and he had all kind of problems trying to get there. He booked a flight because his car wasn't, something, I don't know what happened. He's a big businessman. And he caught a plane and flew to Atlanta, and then rented a car and drove all the way from Atlanta, which is about 3 hours, all the way to Aiken, South Carolina.
Wow.
He was there, and she put this whole thing together and opened the door, and then there it was. And I mean, I'd say that's got to be the ultimate surprise that she's ever.
That was the best shovel I ever saw to come out of something.
All these people, and nobody, leaked it out.
Nobody stooged it off to you and said, "Hey, man, brother, we're coming to see
and
you."
A lot of our church people was there, and even they had nothing. There was.
She good,
I
man.
was totally surprised.
She should be your tour promoter.
And she pulled that one off. So I'd say that's got to be the biggest surprise that she's ever pulled off.
That's awesome. Okay, so last two questions. Favorite country singer of all time?
Favorite country singer of all time? Ooh,
Male. We'll say male first.
Well, I'd have to say.
You give me one or two.
Probably Norval Phelps.
Okay.
And Conway. I love Conway.
Okay.
Gary. I'd say.
Yeah, you got a whole bunch of them in there, but
yeah.
Female. Give me a couple females.
A couple female. Loretta. She's probably my all-time favorite female. And I like Janie Freaky. And of course, I had the honor of Janie Freaky singing on a lot of my records back in the day.
That's really cool.
But not just because of that, but I just like Janie Freaky too.
Right. I love that. Favorite rocker of all time?
Rocker? Hey, well, CCR. I mean.
Well, as a person,
as a person rocker.
Yeah.
I'd say Mick. This is kind of crazy. I like Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger's awesome.
A showman. He's the ultimate showman, and I mean, he's old. He's up yonder too, and he's still doing it.
Had a heart surgery and came right back like 3 weeks later. I got to get touring. I'm like, wow,
Yeah, I'd say, and I'm not a rock, but I mean,
right.
I respect and admire Mick Jagger.
Very cool. Female or two?
Huh?
Female or two? Lady or two?
Tina Turner.
You couldn't go wrong there. I mean, that's just, and you got that double incline because you got the CCR reach in there too with Proud Mary. That's a good come in there, man. That's a good come in there.
She's a performer. I like performers. I mean, like I say, like Mick Jagger, he's a performer. I mean, Tina, good Lord. I mean, that's what really gets me. Is excited is seeing somebody really enjoying what they're doing.
Okay, so this is going to be kind of like a double-loaded question. So, obviously coming back to Nashville is kind of, bittersweet.
Bitter.
And,
because I said I'd never come back.
But, you got good Lord bringing on the bright side of it, so you kind of get a little bit of sweetness coming in there again, it is. So how is it coming back looking? Obviously the town's changed a lot.
It has.
The music business is, it's changed a bunch. Yeah. But, I mean, the music business has changed a bunch too, obviously from, when you were sitting on top to now is a totally different industry, world, music, the whole deal of it is. What's your favorite thing about, you reinventing yourself or coming back, so to speak?
Getting to reunite with a lot of my old friends that I'd lost contact. I mean, like John Snyder and T. Graham Brown, and just over. I mean, I'm not going to start naming just all of them, and getting reunited with them. And
some great people you named there. Been on the show, know them as friends. Great people you just named there.
And because I just fell off. Like I said, I wouldn't even talk to nobody now. I didn't want nothing to do with it. And then, of course, little David Wilkins, we've always been friends. In fact, I came back and recorded a song that he wrote. It was a gospel song.
Oh, wow.
Called I Stand the Tallest When I'm Down on My Knees. And I cut it 5 years ago when I first come back to town.
Yes, sir.
And first song I'd had in all those years, and it stayed number one for 5 weeks in the gospel thing.
That's really cool.
And then Jimmy Adams, man, we've been friends for 50 years.
Gosh.
And he we just kind of talked it over, and he's my manager now. Jimmy Adams is my manager from a friendship about 50 years ago through all these years. But I fell out, and I didn't even talk to him. And we got reacquainted. And of course, he's got iTube 247, which has all the
Music,
video
yes,
stuff.
sir.
And, you know, he's got a big format there. But and you know, just reunite with people. I guess that's my biggest thrill.
Awesome.
And it wasn't getting back in the studio and recording was my thrill. It was just getting reunited with everybody, and that's what it's all about. Friendship.
I love that.
And of course, I met Spike Sadler.
Man, you know, there's receipts. I think he's going to deliver a whole bunch of them in a little bit. You know, but last two fun things. One, favorite place to stop on the road for food?
Woo, Lord have mercy. Out in, where's it, Oklahoma? Where's it at out in there? That we eat the big steak. Can't think of the name of it. It's got the great old big steak out there. If you can eat it, it's free.
Oh,
What's the name of that place?
let me stop this for 1 second.